Hey, Chris!
Hi, Joris. How are you?
Good to see you.
Tessa, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yes.
I kept it pretty white, but I can. This is another room in our studio. I think the outside noise might mess up the interview, so I just kept it here. That's
Oh,
okay.
it would have been so charming to hear a little bit of New York in the background.
Like the ambulances.
Yeah. Oh, I miss them. I miss them. I miss the noise. How have you been dealing with this whole reducing in your existence?
My biggest fear was the business because I didn't know what would happen. Thankfully, I don't know if you guys have seen, but we like, especially in the start of the pandemic, most of our costume gigs for these music videos in the music industry started to ramp up, and stylists started to slowly come up to us. And by the time we got into the heart of all of the corona, we were thankfully here busy making those and doing all these costume projects. So it's kind of given way to us making like head to toe looks and doing new kind of going into new directions. And we even have an appointment next week to possibly look at how we can maybe get into the clothing game.
Oh.
In these times, as you said, Joris, when things have been shrinking down, it's almost like you pivot wherever you can pivot in your business. How are you guys doing with all of the shrinking and maybe expanding or?
Well, I think we had a heart attack in March.
Oof.
Because I think like most stuff what we do is very much involves always a lot of people and being around people, like the stuff we do for musea and like the performance stuff, the theater stuff. It's all about people moving around each other, being close to each other. So we thought like, okay, the whole house of cards is now.
The one industry that I know that I feel has gotten so affected by this is for sure fashion. I mean, that's why we pivoted towards music a little bit, because fashion really seems to just have collapsed in a weird way. Unless you're like, it's really like made it so polar where the brands that are really kind of like thriving in their own way for by and large the most part are the huge names.
Mm-hmm.
They had that infrastructure already behind them, and people that were still kind of like getting up and running have definitely been a little bit more silenced for the time being.
Yeah, for sure.
I remember back, when I started doing design, the superstars were the designers, or like McQueen and Chilean, like all of those people, the Antwerp Six, like all when I was in my 20s, all of those people were the ones that everyone knew was really shaping how things kind of looked. And it's gotten to a point, and maybe it's because of commerce, because everyone just wants to make money, that, as I said before, this like really interesting design gave way to let's slap my logo on things.
What is it about? Is it about the concept, or is it about the product, or is it about the reach? Is it about the experience? Like, what can it be?
I think you said it right there. I mean, like, is fashion art, or is it product, or is it culture? And I think that right now it's really just being looked at as product and means for money making.
If you see like how fashion is being showcased for the most part now, it's look at me wearing instead of more the other side of it.
It's very true, and it's such a hard balance, right? Because when you're only looking at just the product, then you're negating the person, which is where fashion had problems with before, where the designers had so much say over what their models were wearing on the runway without regarding them. So when we started seeing this turn into the actual models and real people models and all that, that's when I was like, oh, great. Like, it's great that it's getting kind of more democratic. And then now it's getting to the point where we're like, whoa, wait. We went all the way maybe to the other side. And let's try and peel it back and have this really beautiful balance of like you know, having a really beautiful garment or a beautiful piece of art, but putting it on a body that really complements it. Instead of like one or the other, I feel like there should be a consideration for both.
Yeah.
Mhm. It's very black and white.
Yeah, it's very either or.
I don't. I
Yeah.
think we lost the sensitivity in all the gray areas.
I mean, I think in everything, people are just thinking in extremes now. You're either conservative or progressive. And if you're conservative, that must mean you're a racist, sexist asshole. And then if you're progressive, that must mean that you are too loopy and too chill and moving too forward and not recognizing what's happening now. Like, no one is really seeing that there could be really beautiful balances
Yeah.
of both.
Mhm.
And that's how people are in general. I mean, by nature, people are both conservative and progressive. People are both caring about themselves and wanting also to wear a piece that's really beautiful. But right now, it's like what you guys said. It's definitely like one or the other, and it's weird. It's definitely a weird time now to navigate.
And it's a lot about appearances. I feel like it misses like how you how it looks like I don't know how you come across as being progressive, not like
Yeah.
yeah, this
The
very
substance, or
yeah
like
this
how do you?
yeah. I don't find the word, like they call it performative wokeness, I guess is that annoying term for it, but I think performative is already too much. It's just like a very sort of um facade. I don't know, it feels very facade everything.
I've had a friend that I've lost because they wanted me to be more aggressive in my progressive thinking.
Whoa.
I've lost another friend that was a bit more on the
How? But then, Chris,
opposite.
How can you be
how
more?
could you be? I think you're already like,
No, it's
what
so
were
crazy.
they expecting then?
People really want you to really be extreme these days. But also, I've lost at least one client, or we actually stopped working with a client of another fashion house because they, before Corona was starting, we were working with HP on on a sort of, I think I might have even approached you guys about it. They wanted us to kind of like create a website that was more of a family and of collaborators and artists and designers, and so we were helping to curate that. A fashion house had heard about that, and as we were talking to them, said we would love to feature some of these makers in our runway, and then wanted to work with us on the curation. So we told them, great. There are just certain things that have to happen now. You know, like we are now in the point where, yeah, people say that they support people, but they have to be supported in a real way,
Yeah.
meaning, you know, financially, because things were going down. And so this fashion house was like, oh yeah, you know, let's figure this out. So I curated like, you know, 5 people, presented it to them, and they said this is great. And I said, you know, the only thing that they'll, so basically apart from if it sells on your runway they get a share and a cut, I think they should at least get a very nominal fee for just making these things because they are spending their time making it. And then that's when the fashion house came back to me and said, oh no, we're giving them exposure, we're going to talk about them on our social media, blah blah blah, like all the same things that we have all heard throughout our whole careers that we've been annoyed and fighting at, because those are just fucking like, you know, on the ephemery, like nothing that really means anything that sustains someone.
Yeah.
And so we just sat there being like, do you guys not understand? Like, we've been talking about this whole time. That's what this culture is. We thought that's why you wanted to come up to us and work with us, because you actually wanted to support like we did. And so that was really disheartening. It really showed me that meant like, wow, like the industry still, like it's still, some people are still relying on those old things that have actually ultimately made the industry die. I mean, like when I think about fashion now, I think no money. Like I know that if I work with someone, I know that already they're going to want to do some sort of trade aspect because there's just no money. And also because we've been conditioned as designers to ask for nothing, or to expect nothing.
You do a lot of celebrities, and I think then the problem with celebrities is also often that they expect stuff for free
You also get paid
in
in exposure.
exposure.
I tried to pay my rent with exposure, never worked. I
I
tried.
should I should do that next time to my landlord. I'm like, I'll really call our building on social media. So stupid. And so it's really been sad. Like like this, what's happened in the past year, not just Corona, but with everything else ramping up, with everything with Trump and the
Wow.
QAnon and all of that rising,
You've
especially.
been through something, my darling.
I have not been so aware my whole life talking about shit that's happening. Like I don't know how your conversations are, but
Sometimes I cannot deal with reality anymore.
Yeah.
Sometimes I just want to pretend I'm Alice in Wonderland.
I think like it's also difficult now as an artist that you're almost like you're almost expected to be an activist rather than an artist, and I find that sometimes a bit hard because I don't know if that's something I want or that I feel like I have to do, or if we're dead already, you know.
we've definitely taken a stance. I mean, a lot of our pieces have gone into some sort of philanthropy. One, we definitely want to do something to help, but two, we also don't want to be uh, not real about what we supported in the past and what we support now. Um, and we also wanted to make sure that if we were going to do this, that it wasn't one of those things that we would just after a few months go away and then move back into just let's just show asses and dicks and guns and food. Like we were like if we're gonna get into this, we have to get into this in a serious way and really like continue it. And so we started examining what we did, and we realized that we started looking back on our feed. We were like, wait a minute, we've been championing diversity and fringe people our whole career.
It's your DNA already, huh, Chris?
Exactly. And so we were like, no need to change much. Let's just actually try and help in a meaningful way by having having more things where charities are being sponsored, where individuals are being really highlighted. And so we started doing that. And then as that happened, I realized at the end of last summer, I was kind of like, well, I love that we've gotten really conscious. However, I thought that we kind of lost the sex a little bit, and we're so much about the sex. And I was like, I never wanted to make it feel like hopping from one thing to another. So I was like, let's really figure out how to combine it. And what I'm really fascinated by now is the intersectionality of all of it. As an example, like just recently, we did a sex worker shoot where we wanted to highlight sex workers who were mainly queer and people of color, because of Corona kind of like shutting down person to person type of meetings, what sex workers were doing now. And so what we did was instead of kind of highlighting a charity, because I don't know, I mean there are sex worker organizations. What we decided to do is with these people that we worked with, we were going to interview them, highlight them, get an article put up about them, and then on our Instagram, literally write their Venmos, their Cash Apps, all of that, and say support this person instead of organizations where we were trying to do something more direct for them that was really meaningful. Supposedly it worked. They said that they were getting contacted up and down, so that was really nice. But that's what I really like. I really love that because it was very much a way for us to bridge the things that we believe in all in one and all kind of facets, because not all of us are just people of color or queer or a sex worker or a this. Like we're so much combinations of everything. I feel like the world really needs to understand that and know that not one person is just one thing that you see in this square box on Instagram. Like it's actually, there's layers within that kind of person. So we're trying to push that agenda out there as much as we can.
Chris, you're here.
Oh, same guys, same really.
Let's
Thank you so much.
chat soon again then. Okay.
We'll do. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Thank you so much.
See you later, Chris. Big
Talk to you
kiss.
soon.
See you later.
Bye.
Bye. Groetjes.